Well, it is the last day of the second week of the LCS Summer Split with coverage brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Sven, who is looking really cute right now with those ears. Either way, would love to talk to you, Sven, about this weekend because it's been highs and lows for you guys. Crushed, I would say, by C9, then crushing Team Liquid, who I think people, maybe they were the only team that people thought were on your level and C9's level. So what has it been like for you going over these past 2 days?
Yeah, so I think going into the yesterday's game against C9, I think we all were kind of on the same page of this is a long split and we're only in week 2. So even if no matter how we do against Cloud9, it shouldn't really matter in the big picture as long as we take some stuff from the game and we improve. Because I think Cloud9 is just really on a different level than all other teams right now in LCS, and I think if we get too heated or we take it too personal that we lose against them, then it's just going to hurt us more than do any good. So not too worried about losing against Cloud9 as long as we try to improve and obviously try to beat them later on. And the game against TL, yeah, I mean, it just kind of shows that I think we are the second best team. It's just I think everyone going up against Cloud9, like Cloud9 is gonna kind of make you look like clowns, so shouldn't take it too much.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting because going into this weekend, I thought, oh, okay, maybe we aren't going to have C9 just dominating everyone. You know, I expected them to maybe be the best team, but I thought for sure that there would be less of a gap, and yet it doesn't really seem to be the case. Why is that, you think? Why is it that even with the break and all this time, nobody seems to be able to catch up to them?
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like some team just has to like find the crack in the arm or something, and then everyone else can kind of like learn from that. But so far, nobody has really done that, and it seems like they just play really well together, and they usually always get lane advantage, and then Blabber plays really well. Like he always gets farm advantage in jungle as well. And yeah, I mean, this is really impressive playing against them, and we just need some team. Maybe it's going to be us to lead the way, you know, finding the crack in the armor.
Well, and you said, yeah, the crack in the armor. Do you think that it is just a play style thing? Like, oh, you know, here's what we've realized is that, you know, like mid game you can pressure objectives and they're great bad at that, or is it really just that, or do you think it's a situation where, you know, because I think a lot of people on the outside are just like, oh, they're just better than everybody, you know, like their players are outperforming people and stuff.
Yeah, it's just really hard to say because I think we've tried different playstyles against them, and it just typically doesn't really matter what playstyle, because usually when you try to fight them early game, they usually come out ahead because their mechanics are really sharp, and when you try to scale, you don't really get to the late game because they just end the game way too fast. So yeah, we definitely have some problems, and we're just gonna have to keep improving, you know.
Well, speaking about TL, who you just did very well against, you know, I think a lot of people weren't sure which way this game would go. I think they were predicting based off their fathers, but I think the analyst desk wasn't sure how to place it because TL's been looking way stronger. So now that you've played them, you know, what are your expectations? Did they just have an easier first couple of games, I guess? Is that why they were 3-0?
I don't want to shit on them or anything, but I mean, I think they're a decent team. I think we're just better than them, and I think we got a really good draft against them as well. So we got a lot of comfort picks, and I don't know if they got comfort picks. Maybe they did, but their draft didn't really seem to really make sense to me. So yeah, I think we got a really good draft, and I think right now it really matters if you have a good draft or not. So yeah, well, I think that's kind of why it looked so easy.
I mean, do you think that in the same way that C9 is a uncontested first place team in the league, that you could say EG is an uncontested second, or do you think that there are some people that you'd put on that tier with yourself?
I mean, we haven't beaten FlyQuest yet, so like we haven't faced them yet, so I wouldn't consider ourselves second yet, uncontested. I think we still need to beat FlyQuest before I can say that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I think it's easy sometimes for people to dismiss FlyQuest, but it's a very important point that they sometimes come out of nowhere. You know, I haven't really asked too many pro players about this because I feel like there are a few that would care, but given that you're a pretty long-standing veteran player at this point, Do you have any expectation or any thoughts on sort of the conversation about the LCS broadcast and the show and a lot of the criticism about the show? I mean, and I'm not looking for you to necessarily shit on it, right? Like if you think it's overblown or you think, because I ask this question because I know a lot of the, or I don't ask this question to many people because I know a lot of the LCS pros just don't really care. They like tune into the broadcasts for the games and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I really like playing in the LCS, and I think a lot of times people just like to shit on the LCS, so I think it's kind of like overblown a little bit, but definitely there's been a lot of issues that I've seen just by watching the podcast, and I don't really pay attention to the fact the overlay and the stuff like that. Usually I'm just trying to watch the game, but it's been pretty hard to just focus on the game when there's a lot of issues, and definitely I notice when there's that. So yeah, I think they're gonna fix it. I believe in them.
Yeah. I mean, I realized like very few people I think were talking to any of the pros about it, and I get that part of it is you guys don't care as much, but figured it was important to catch your voice in on this as well. You guys you're still doing like a gaming house type situation, right?
Uh, kind of. Well, we all live separately,
Okay.
and then we practice from an office. Well, not really, but yeah.
I mean,
Kind
yeah,
of.
I maybe more of a question for management or something, but it's interesting in that I feel like if you're going to practice, very clearly a lot of the teams have started practicing in their facilities again, and so it's an interesting question where I see you guys, all congregating together in a house or office or something, but not actually the facility. So it's just interesting from the outside to not really understand what's going on there.
It's something to do with some legal reasons.
Okay. It's
So I
fascinating
can't really
because
talk
some
about
teams
it.
are saying there's no legal issues whatsoever, and others have been saying there's a ton of legal issues. So I don't know what's going on, but I did hear CLG's going into their facility starting I think tomorrow this week. So maybe EG won't be that too far behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're already practicing together,
Yeah.
but just not at the office.
Would you rather be
So
in the office?
I like our setup we have right now.
Oh,
We
really?
just
Okay.
we're just playing from Jisuke's room and we're all chilling.
Okay. You don't feel any advantages in being and trading out of the practice facility or whatever you guys call it?
Obviously the office is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't mind too much.
Oh, you don't mind
The
too much.
situation
Okay.
right now.
Hey, that's fair. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, just I hope you guys keep supporting us. I know it was a tough loss against Cloud9, but obviously we're gonna try our best to keep improving. And remember to #LiveEvil.
Okay, what is up? I don't know if you are doing that sarcastically now. Other people are doing it. Did somebody at EG come and say like, "Hey, you should use the Live Evil more in your Twitter posts," and then and you've decided now to use it in all of them? Because that sounds like a pro player thing that would happen.
All I know is just #LiveEvil.
Okay, I guess we'll never know. I'll have to ask around. Either way, thanks so much, Sven, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Oh, hey, hang on. I just want to. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I need your help with something. In the description below is a brand survey that Travis Gafford Industries is conducting to learn more about how you guys feel about our sponsors and sponsorships or whatever. I don't want to reveal or spoil it, but if you can just answer that honestly, it'll help give us a ton of insight into the way we do stuff. That'd be super good. Speaking of sponsors, by the way, shout out to Alienware. You can check them out at the link in the description below. Thanks.